So it is September 18th. This is a Sunday. I am not home. My parking spot is over on the other side of these trucks. I'm in a Walmart parking lot. I just went in to use the facilities. I'm in Tennessee, near the south, I guess I'm southeast of Nashville, halfway between Nashville and the Alabama border. I have a load that's going into Tennessee. And you can see the nose of my truck right there. It'd be more beneficial if I had a place to plug my truck into, but oh well. Today was a lousy week, ending in a lousy weekend. But every week and weekend cannot be the best weekend. In order to get the best weekend, you gotta have some bad weekends and weeks as well. You can see there's trucks randomly parked in the Walmart parking lot. And the spaces over here are actually truck parking spaces. There's a set of spaces right here, and then on the back side of where all these trucks are parked, on the other side is another row of truck spaces, which I think is ingenious for Walmart, because truck drivers definitely need to go purchase their food products and whatnot. There's a white truck right next to me, Freightliner, but it's just the truck. You can actually see my truck and trailer with the 10 coils I have on the back, and this is the exact similar load as to last week from Indiana to Georgia. I did this last week. Same load minus 1 coil. Last week it was 11. Today, or this week, it's this load is 10, and went together a lot faster this time. And actually helped out. I met I want to say his name was Dennis, a Maverick driver. Helped spread some tarps on his load. I showed up after him, but I finished and then went and talked to him and helped him spread his tarps. Found out that this is his first week driving. I don't want to get too close over there because the trucks are running and they're loud. But I guess one of the downsides to this week was Thursday. Thursday was so bad that I decided not even to make a video, because it would have been so disheartening. It would have caused the entire trucking industry to collapse. So I figured I'd just wait. I was at a facility picking up an aluminum coil that was 6 feet 3 or 4 inches high, and I loaded it shotgun. That's the way they had everybody load. It was only 32,000 pounds, but it was massive. It was aluminum, so I mean, you get more bang for your buck. The issue that started this whole, and that was the start of my bad week, because everything else was going well except for the blown tire I had on my trailer. That may have tipped the scale and put me, yeah, that may have been the difference between me getting home or not. It probably is. But I sat there for 3.5 hours waiting to get into the shipper to get loaded. And fortunately for me, the gate guard was a very nice gentleman. I appreciate people that are friendly when they do their job and not disgruntled. I wonder what gruntled is, because if you're disgruntled, there's got to be a gruntled. I'll have to look that up. Maybe that means you're happy. Like disingenuous versus ingenuous, genuine. Yeah. Anyway, it took once I got inside the facility to load the aluminum coil. This is referring to Thursday's load. It took This was, you could tell, it's sad to say, but you could tell this was a union place because they walked like molasses, very slowly, methodical. Whatever position they were moving to, if it was from their chair to pick up the controls for the hoist or to come over and get the paperwork from you, it was slow and methodical. So they came and got my paperwork, and then they slowly filled out their paperwork, and then loaded a coil on mine. I thought I could get away with a steel tarp over this, and it had a good 6 inches, maybe 5 inches on each side of a gap, but I was going to do my fold over technique, but there was still not enough tarp to cover up the gap. So I had to put a lumber tarp over, and the thing was, it was about 115, 120 degrees within the facility itself. This was in Arkansas. It's horrendous. And so here I'd gone through the effort of putting a canvas tarp and a steel tarp on and bungeeing and trying to complete that process, and then I discovered, yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to do better. So instead of taking the steel tarp off, I just left it in place because that would have taken up so much time. It would have been crazy. So I got my lumber tarp out and tried to spread that one, but trying to lift a lumber tarp up to 6'4", you know, you have to, it's basically putting a bar at 6'4" and trying to throw, actually it's probably about 6'6" now that I think about it. Put a partially unrolled lumber tarp on top of that is very difficult, but I did eventually get it up there. And as I was partially collapsed on the other side from exhaustion, thinking to myself, why am I doing this job? I must have quit. I think that was the first time in about 8 months that I thought about putting in my 2 weeks notice, because I don't quit, I put in a 2 weeks notice. And once they loaded my coil, they left. There was no assistance. There was no, hey, we'll lift your tarp onto your load for you or anything. This is all indoors. I couldn't leave until it was secured and tarped. And I was frustrated. And luckily another driver came in and he saw that I was struggling, and he came over and helped hold the tarp in place while I lifted it up because it was sliding off each side. Oh, it was crazy. Once I got it stabilized in place and could put down the sides of the lumber tarp, it was all good to go after that. Then it was just the time it took to put the bungees in place. The reason I mention these things is because I think, let's see, how can I put this? I think YouTube videos of truck drivers tend to put truck driving in a really good light most of the time. Even when I started contemplating truck driving and was watching YouTube, and I was like, you know what, I think I can do that, and I am doing it. But I think it over-romanticizes the truck driving world and the industry and driving in general, driving over the road, because most of the time it's semi-hard stuff, physically, emotionally, especially if you got family. So I think that's why the turnover rate is so high in this industry, because it is a completely different lifestyle, one that you, especially as an American, and I hope that doesn't come off bad, but I mean, we are blessed so much in this country to be able to do so many different things to manage our lives, gain education, and take care of our families, that I reflect back to my other life in the military in the countries I've gone to, and seeing the work that others do. It makes me question, what am I doing? I don't know if that even makes sense. Well, I'm inside my truck now. I'm actually idling, which is really rare. But without being able to plug in my truck, my batteries, my EPU only lasts for about, I want to say 14 hours. Enough to get you through the night to where you're driving the next day. That was the alarm I set on my video was interrupted because I have an alarm on my phone to let me know when I'm done charging up my truck. So now it's off. Messaging. It lasts about 12 to 14 hours, my EPU, without charging it. And usually at if I were to stay like at a Maverick facility, they have outlets to where we can plug our trucks into, and they stay completely charged, and we can utilize all our air conditioning, heating, whatever we may need to do without having to idle our truck at all. And I idle my truck for about 30 to 45 minutes at the most, and then can utilize my electronics and AC and all that stuff, and it's not an issue. But every once in a while you have to recharge the benefits you want to use. So I was a little disheartened when I found out on Friday, when I dropped off my Friday load, that the load I was picking up wasn't going to be picking up until Saturday morning. I've never done a Saturday pickup before, which is, it's a milestone, I guess. I did a Saturday pickup in the morning, and it's delivering in Georgia, which is not in the same, when you're in Indiana and you have to travel southeast to your destination, St. Louis, which is westbound from where I was at, like directly westbound, it puts the out of route mileage beyond reason to go home. I got permission, I could have gone home, but one, I would have only been home for 24 hours. I wouldn't have gotten a 34-hour reset, which meant I put my next week at risk of not being able to optimize my miles and work that I could do to earn money. But yeah, so I made the decision. I let them know, I'll just head to the delivery appointment. I'm about 2 hours away. The appointment's not until 11, but you can. Since I just delivered to this place last week, I know exactly what to expect when I get there. So I can show up early, let's just say, and they will unload me when they can. I don't think they're very concrete on their times, but anyway. Yeah, so I guess this video is kind of a mix-up of things, me expressing my current dissatisfaction with the things that are going on this week. It's not necessarily my overall opinion of trucking per se, but yeah, this week was not, at least this Thursday, Friday, and this weekend were not the best. When you are committing yourself to an industry, a job, especially in this country, I don't know if it's, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's there are, I guess, so many other courses, so many other avenues people can take that enable them to be able to optimize their time with their family, to be at home, to work. But what is normal work? I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes I think the sacrifices the truck driving industry makes, as far as the driver is concerned, far outweigh many of the benefits that they get. They are definitely, I think, an underpaid industry, considering that life would cease to exist without them. Considering, many people survive by going to Walmart, but Walmart doesn't have anything without truck drivers. 99, this is just my opinion, 99.9% of everything you purchase is transported by a truck driver. There is the rare instance in which people grow their own food and gather some of it on their own, but for the 99%, they're purchasing the products that they need to survive. So it's kind of a catch-22, trying to keep prices low but yet provide a living and a reasonable life for truck drivers to be able to get home and participate with their family. And I think I've got a really good deal. I get home just about every weekend. It's pretty rare that I stay out a weekend. So I mean, as far as over-the-road truck driving is concerned, I get home rather frequently. I can only imagine the sacrifice that many other truck drivers make that work for companies that keep them out for 4 to 6 weeks at a time, and then get home and expect to have any kind of family relationship with their children, as far as seeing them grow up and participating in the activities that their children participate in and influencing them as they grow up in life. Those are things that you have to take into consideration if you have a family and you're wanting to become an over-the-road truck driver. Is the sacrifice of me wanting to be a truck driver worth the possible sacrifices with family? Many people make it work, and kids turn out great. It's just that you as a truck driver may not be there to witness a bunch of special events or participate as fully as you would like to if you had a regular 9-to-5 job. So there are trade-offs, and you just have to take those things into consideration. I always try to advise people to pursue the things that they think will make them happy. Once they know what that is. For me, I'm pursuing truck driving because I haven't quite figured out what I want to be when I grow up. So once I do, that's what I'll pursue. And it doesn't matter if I have to go to school for another 8 years to achieve whatever it is I end up deciding to do. I don't know. Or I might end up staying a truck driver. I don't know. I can't make up my mind what I really want to do. What's the passion that drives me? What is that element in life that propels me to go forward and say, wow, this is awesome. I'm able to help other people at the same time. I mean, I help people in a limited fashion in the truck driving industry, in the sense that I'm providing the ability for people to manufacture stuff. But most of my life has been spent providing direct care for individuals. And that was fulfilling to a certain extent. But unfortunately, the military position that I have, for most medical folks on the enlisted side, they don't transition equally into the civilian sector. It's kind of amazing to think about, but it's kind of a messed up system. The things I could do in the military, I can't even attempt to do in the civilian world. They don't like that. You got to have certifications and all kinds of stuff that are nationally recognized by certain affiliated programs and things like that. And it's like, really? Okay. I've been doing it for 20 years, but now all of a sudden I can't. Okay. So it limits job prospects in a particular skill set I may have. So maybe I want to become a blacksmith. I don't know. Trying to decide. I don't know if it's a really big moneymaker these days. I'm not talking about a furrier, somebody who makes horseshoes. No, I'm talking about blacksmith. You know, the guys that make knives and repair metal objects and things like that. I just like working with my hands. Anyway, this is just kind of a random weekend video because there's nothing else to do. In fact, I'm sorry that you didn't have a week's worth of videos because I was stuck out for the weekend and couldn't upload these. So, things to think about as you contemplate whether or not you want to be a truck driver. But if you do want to become a truck driver for Maverick Transportation, and my videos help, especially this one, if this video convinced you to be a truck driver, even after seeing that, you know what, family time away can be kind of hard, I'd appreciate it if you give my name as your referral. Doesn't hurt, does it? It helps. If you like helping other people, this will help me. Have a good weekend.